A train wreck to spin fire. The NFT and others diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your mint coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. While stories from
Good morning,
Mega
GMs. How you doing, guys? How you feeling? How are you looking? Okay, April 16th is Wednesday. Deeper and deeper and deeper we get into the month and the year and the trade wars. Man, things just keep getting more and more spicy. Yeah, I was expecting to have I don't know, volatility. We talk a lot about volatility, expecting plenty of that this week and over the coming weeks and months. We got it. We certainly got more of that. Lot to talk about this morning. China selling their Bitcoins. Who'd have thought? Maybe. No, but the trade war's heating up. Crypto's still looking solid. We're just going to trade sideways for the next couple months, aren't we? It's what I'm expecting. But we actually have some good news as well. Spoiler. There you hear it. There's our spoiler. We'll get to that in a quick second. Smash the like on the show wherever you're watching. On Abstract, on X, on YouTube. By the way, good morning, Drop King and Red Dollar and Peter and Murray. Great to see you guys. Link for Abstract in the chat here. Subscribe. Yeah, go over to the YouTube side. Subscribe over here. It's Crypto Slam on YouTube. We had an awesome afternoon show yesterday on the Swarm Report. Had a great guest. It was the Loki team, who's part of the new Virtuals ACP Swarm, the autonomous hedge fund, along with our agent, the Swarm. So it was actually great. That might have been the first show, period, out there with some Swarm teams, some virtual Swarm teams, talking about behind the scenes. It was really awesome. And for me, I always learned something from that. I'm not a dev. I'm not the techie guy on the team. So when you hear the devs talking, I it's like in the NFT space, I kind of get starstruck with the artists. It's kind of like the same with the guys building in AI. So it was an awesome conversation. And that Swarm's coming in, according to Virtuals, within 30-ish days. So it'll be here soon. And I actually think maybe we got time to chat about it today, but I have a feeling these AI products are going to outtrade anybody here. In fact, I think we're going to be forced to trade using AI tools. We shall see. Anyway, go check out that episode. You can follow me on X at Hudah_idiot. But make sure you follow us at CryptoSlam.io on X. Also, SlamAI_XYZ. Check out our light paper here. All that stuff. If you've seen the light paper, you know it's coming. It's coming. There's a lot tied into, I don't want to say the virtual swarm, but that's the first domino for us. And then more to come. And then finally, follow the Swarm_AI, our flagship AI agent. But I'm not 100% sure if Swarm Report this afternoon is happening, so just stay tuned for that. But let's kick it off with our good news here. Let's kick it off. It's like some great news. SEC been closing these investigations into, anybody and everybody at this point. SEC is just shutting it down. Just shutting it down. Not in the way we used to think of, not shutting the projects down. No, shutting down their investigations. From Ripple to OpenSea to Yuga Labs. Everybody. Consensus. Immutable. I mean, the list just goes on. And honestly, I'm close to the project. My brother's Henry the Grape on the team. So behind the scene, Lemon, good morning, and Cutie, good morning. Dude, my phone keeps falling out of my pocket during the show. Jesus. behind the scenes, okay, they didn't know this was coming, but they were pretty hopeful. Like you have an idea of what's going on out there. They saw what was happening. So they're like, I think this is going to get dismissed. But like, they didn't know. They didn't know. I think they assumed it would happen. And you see it here. It did finally happen. The SEC officially closed their investigation into the CyberKongz. Guys, it was years. I mean, years. And I know how hard it was for those guys. All those teams out there who are facing, the wrath of the SEC. I know it was hard for them, but I got to see it up close. I did, and it's not like you often have an entire team dedicated towards it. The big projects maybe, but I know in this case, it was like in a large way, it was like Henry versus the SEC. That guy had a brutal couple years, and so this one hits close to home, right? But it's over. 2-ish years of this litigation, and it's like he had a third job just kind of taking care of this crazy stuff. I'm glad they're on the other side because truth is, they couldn't build anything over the past couple of years. They did Genkai and Amaki and their migration to Ronin, but they couldn't build the stuff they wanted. In fact, every time they had their idea and a game plan, like we can't. The SEC they won't. I think they couldn't sell things. I mean, again, they did Genkai, but they couldn't sell things. They couldn't make anything with tokenomics. So anyway, excited for those guys to be now officially on the other side. And officially now they have the runway open for them to kind of build and take off again. And I think they've been teasing stuff in their Discord. I don't think I'm revealing anything, but I know they do have stuff in the works and they do have things coming. Oh, good point. Yeah. You know what I liked about Runes is, the SEC, I don't think even flagged that, cared about it because it just was, it was just given away. So I don't even think I don't think they cared about that. But yeah, they did that too. That's right. So that, funny enough, they stayed active during the past couple of years, but you know what you think, like the Kongs are going to, push the envelope with tech and they're going to get pretty degen. And that's the stuff they couldn't really do. Expect that to change here. Probably in the short term. Really excited to see what these guys are going to cook up now. Man, we're all Kongs, Anyway, from the Kongs themselves, grateful for the support they got out here in the space. It was, a big story yesterday. Everybody talking about that for a bit. But that they do have more coming. The next chapter is CyberKongz right on the horizon, probably right here. If any of you guys are like active in the Discord, have they teased anything there? Like, I have one thing in mind that I know they're working on, but I don't know if it's in the Discord. I think it is. I think I've seen some of it, right? I think. Kat's, great to see you, man. Hood's great to see you too, man. Also over on the abstract side, Roth, I see you, and Luke, good morning, guys. By the way, a reminder. Oh, shit. Okay, I was going to mention again, just remind people, you can now follow people on abstract. So head over to the abstract side and give me a follow. I think it notifies you when I go online or go live. If not, it at least lets you filter by the people you follow, so you have an easier time finding the stream when I am live. And I do go live sometimes when I'm not over on YouTube, right? It's just like exclusively on abstract. Thinking about streaming that Cambria game too, so I may be streaming more. Anyway, appreciate the follows. That number went up nicely overnight. I am following back everybody who follows. So just a heads up about that. I probably got, yesterday we got everybody. Now I think we doubled. So I got some follows to do, but follow me on abstract. I'll follow right back. Oh, interesting. Hoods, what was their announcement? I know one thing. I just don't know if it's that thing. Anyway, I know there's cool stuff coming. Okay, now on to the bad news. Grain of salt, I guess. Maybe. But China, yes. Apparently selling their Bitcoin, their seized Bitcoin, like the United States. They are sitting on a big old pile of Bitcoin and ETH and, other digital assets here, NFTs, I'm sure too. But as this trade war ramps up, they're looking for any way they can, fight back, hurt us. And they have plenty of ways. One of those ways, this being such a pro-crypto administration, well, maybe they can retaliate by playing the other side of that. And so, yes, news coming that China is selling their Bitcoin and apparently already has sold some. Apparently, they sold 15,000 Bitcoins, 1.25 billion worth. Right? So not on chain. I don't think we've seen it impact prices, but like an OTC deal. But guys, they have something like 16 billion Bitcoin. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. Michael Saylor a couple weeks back bought 32 million or billion Bitcoin through Strategy. Did it move the market? Yeah, a little. Do we absorb it all and it kind of washes out in a day or so? Yeah. Flip side is the FTX stimmy, these reimbursements that are coming this year. Still, have they started? How deep are they? We keep getting conflicting info, but if I think or thought that $16 billion in potential credits can prop this market up, move the market a little, then I have to imagine the other side has an effect as well. So we'll see how this plays out. Yank, good morning. Trenchbot, they posted. Did they tweet that? Trenchbot's cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely something those guys are cooking. It's really cool too. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, basically, Telegram type trading. Actually, I just don't know what they've said yet. I'll wait. We'll get Henry on. I'll see if he even wants to pop in here today. We'll get Henry on to talk about it. But so there also is a bullish scenario with China and their Bitcoin, because maybe they're going to sell some, but also potentially they're thinking about a national crypto reserve too. That would be the smart way. That would look. I think they're smart. I don't think anybody would doubt or deny that. Incredibly smart. I think they understand what way this world is heading, and it's heading on chain. And I would imagine for them, it probably makes more sense to hold those sweet Bitcoins, right? Right. It's 16 billion today, but we're talking 100 billion in a couple of years. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would imagine they're going to maybe hold on to a majority of that. That said, more tariffs, dude. More. I didn't even see when this officially was announced and what these extra or additional tariffs are applied to, but apparently now tariffs are up to 245% on certain goods in China. So this thing's just escalating. And while we're going to get some announcements at any point about trade deals being made, the EU and the US still negotiating, and apparently that's broken down. And so no deals to announce there. I think we'll have individual countries with announcements here. But yeah, I mean, we're not seeing the progress I thought we'd see by now. Man, I don't know if I should have any expectations. Maybe that's silly. But market kind of rattled this morning, and we'll see when the stock market opens up in 15 minutes. Because Nvidia took a big old hit yesterday. Big hit. Okay. Yeah, Nvidia now has to pay a $5.5 billion export license, or are faced with it. Pretty crazy. This is like, a day after Trump saying they're going to expedite these permits for Nvidia. Specifically, guys, that was about their $500 billion investment here in the States to build, right? Infrastructure for AI. And Trump said, we'll expedite any permits related to building. But yeah, now they're restricted from shipping these H20 chips to China. Those are used in AI development. And I'll tell you what, I don't think it matters. We learned with DeepSeek, right? We learned with DeepSeek that China's sitting on a big old, certain companies are sitting on huge stockpiles of those H20 chips, right? A lot of these chips that have like restrictions on them, they're still getting them. And they're developing their own tech. It's just a matter of time, a short time, honestly, till they don't need these. They produce them, in country. By the way, I think we need to talk a bit about AI this morning too. Right? I tweeted something out yesterday from the former CEO of Google, and dude, I sat my wife down last night and had her watch the video. Like, man, the shit that's coming is crazy. It's crazy. And I even say it like so crudely like that, like shit's crazy. Like there's, he said it himself. There's no words to describe what's coming. There's not. That's funny, Lemon. It's a good point. By the way, yeah, Cash Grabbers is coming up in just a couple hours. I'm going to put that here when we get to NFTs. But yes, the mint from Mr. Ricci is coming up in just an hour or two-ish hours. It's a great looking collection, man. It's such a cool. He's such a great artist. But yeah, Nvidia stock takes a hit yesterday. We'll see how it bounces back today. Again, nothing is firm here. You know, it's whatever statement yesterday, today, tomorrow gone. Tomorrow flip side. I don't know. I just think people are not going to trade any of the news at this point, other than your like hardcore speculators. You're like degens. You're degens of the stock market. They're probably liking this like a bit. Okay, everybody's still open to trading. Yay. China says they're open to talks if Trump shows respect, and names a point person, and get these cabinet members to like just shut up. Everybody's talking kind of reckless here. It's true. It is true. Art of the deal or something. But, news that China's open to these negotiations did, at least as of early this morning, send the S&P 500 futures up 100 points. Here's the thing. Nobody knows. And then there is something that has an actual impact, something tangible here. You might feel it. You might actually feel this in the next days. But Hong Kong's suspension of postal service goods heading to the United States, that's effective today. And I don't remember if this was all of China or just certain areas, but no longer allowing Boeing planes to be delivered to China. So, like, the Boeing is sitting on all these, or will be apparently sitting on all these planes, that they are hoping to get paid for. No, they're just going to sit on their inventory, basically. I don't know. This is stupid. It's stupid. It is what it is. All right, let's look at the crypto market here, how it's holding up. And yes, with that kind of news, it's probably what we'd expect. We are down Bitcoin 83.8, down 2.1%. ETH, man, 1,500, down 3.6%. Ripple 207. Solana 125. Not surprised. Not surprised. It wasn't bullish news. It was bearish news. And yet we only moved that much. I'm sorry. I think it's fine. I still think crypto is holding up really, really well. Now, if China sells that $16 billion worth of Bitcoin, and let's say the U.S. doesn't counter it by announcing a plan to buy Bitcoin, then I don't want to say worried, but, more concerned that this whole thing, this, next leg for crypto, that it drags out. And by the way, if you think that crypto is going to run just because of global M2, which I do, if we have like on the macro level, if things if people still don't have the confidence to bet on these riskier assets, look, we could spend that whole period with that record high liquidity where people they're still not willing to put it into markets like this. It is possible. We could see that where we literally, kind of fuck up our own chances at that special part of the run. It's possible. I'm watching. Looking over at the ETFs, starting with Bitcoin, 76.4 mil in inflows yesterday. Decent, considering how we've been the past, 2 weeks. It's our second best day in 2-ish weeks here. I like that. On the ETH side, 14.2 mil in outflows. Not terrible. Not terrible. We'll take it. But, dude, there's still, a lot of reasons to be optimistic here. Dude, bullish, yeah. I'm with you. Dude, it's such good news. I know it's such a weight off for those guys, too. But, again, unrelentingly good news for Bitcoin, other than China selling. And, again, maybe it's a strategic reserve, but here's VanEck CEO, and I'm going to play this clip because there's something interesting here. But saying that Bitcoin could become 5% of global trade. I love that. Saying countries will use Bitcoin as an intermediary currency. Remember we saw this report last week saying that China, Russia settled some kind of energy deal in Bitcoin? Well, he mentions that here. And so we saw that report and people ran with it as confirmed. And I don't know. There's enough counterpoints to that saying they didn't confirm it. They just said their sources are telling them. When they say it in public, it's a little different. And they do say it here.
We think there's a good chance that central banks and sovereign wealth funds will start to get more aggressive in adopting Bitcoin, not only as a store of value, but also as a medium of exchange. So this year, the Czech Republic, the governor of the central bank there, has initiated a study to analyze Bitcoin for inclusion in their central bank reserves. And then just this week, Russia did a trade with China, partially denominated in Bitcoin, beginning to really use Bitcoin for the first time as a medium of exchange. And that's not for individuals buying coffee. That's for large scale transactions where countries are using Bitcoin as an intermediary currency to do, say, an oil trade. And in that scenario,
It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. I'm with you here, Bullish. Excuse me, right or wrong. And I don't even know if Henry and I are totally on the same page with this. Bullish saying Kongs will never be accepted back in the Bitcoin ecosystem. They'll have to mess with ETH or Ronin. And yeah, like ultimately too, even with the way the Bitcoin stuff worked out, it was a cool thing they did. It was a cool thing, and they fucked up, right? The fuck up with Kongs was adding any utility, right? Like teasing that anything would happen with decentralized Rune, and then even doing a PFP launch, and so the fuck up was even doing that. I think, just leave it, just drop it like you initially intended. I get it. They caved to pressure. They knew they needed to do something. They couldn't build anything, so they just felt like they had to do something. So they do a PFP, and then when that wasn't enough, which it wasn't to people, it wasn't enough. They wanted more. And they're like, there's nothing else we can do. So they're like, okay, we'll step back. It's supposed to be decentralized. You guys build. It's like they got themselves in a position where they could not win, couldn't do anything right. At that point, cut the losses. It's like, we can't win if we build or try to build. We definitely won't win if we exit, but at least one of them, we can focus on other stuff. So yeah, it's a tricky situation. Tricky. And to me, still ultimately shouldn't have dropped another PFP there. I think just, drop the Rune, tell people to have fun. Good morning, Mike. Seems the administration is dead set on crashing the world economy for some version of a reset. That's what it feels like, dude, right? We know they plan on super buying assets. And if they crash, the assets will be cheap. Dude, I'm with you. It feels like that, doesn't it? It to me, yeah. Gravity, good morning, man. Great to see you, sir. PayPal's former CEO. We got a lot of formers here with some, comments today, which I like. We're going to talk about, the former Bitcoin CEO just a bit later, but Bitcoin's going to leapfrog all network for money that's this year in 2025, right? This stuff coming is imminent. It's here. If you're a dev, wouldn't consider building on anything else. Just Bitcoin. Build on Bitcoin. I like that. What are you going to build on Bitcoin, though? I don't know. Accept it as a payment, system, whatever. Yeah, sure. Here's Intuit. Am I reading this right? Shareholders sent proposal for $165 billion Intuit to start. Okay, not to buy $165 billion, but Intuit worth $165 billion. $2.5 billion cash. So kind of like McDonald's and GameStop, shareholders want them to hold on to some Bitcoin. McDonald's said no. Yeah, we know GameStop, yes. We'll see here with Intuit, maybe. Matt Hogan, another great take. Oh man, I couldn't agree more. Saying we're not entitled to an alt season anymore. I still think we get an alt season, like a really, really nice one. It's a matter of when. But there's a chance that I'm not set on that. Like, we're not definitely getting it, or maybe, like he's saying, we're not entitled to an alt season anymore. This is a much more mature ecosystem. And while I think, at points, everything pumps, literally everything, them having some kind of like correlation, I think that's gone for the most part. It matters it truly matters what the thing does. It's going to kind of come down to utility. Kinda. Again, I don't think that's entirely right. Like Laura Shin here saying, forget the digital rocks. Like, there will always be that stuff. When things get so frothy, people will chase anything that they think they can make a buck in. All that stuff, everything, all the alts, meme coins come back, digital rocks cook again. It will all happen again. But again, maybe not the way it did in the past. And I think Bitcoin maybe just outpaces it all. The kind of growth coming there is something else.
The investors I speak with and the people who sort of I experiment with ThoughtWits in the crypto market think that we're moving into sort of a fundamental market where there is more differentiation between this project and that project than we perhaps had in the past. I think that's somewhat what Matthew is speaking towards. You can make a fundamental case for Hyperliquid. You can make a fundamental case for Bitcoin right now. You can make a fundamental case for certain DeFi protocols. And I think people are going to be focusing more on protocols and projects that are demonstrating fundamental traction. I feel like crypto.
Yeah. And again, I agree. And also, I know that other stuff isn't dead. Remember, Matt also thinks meme coins are never coming back. Right. And I don't look, he's really fucking smart. I don't think he thinks they're like not coming back at all, but he's saying like that was the peak. We're not going to see him come back bigger than that, or maybe at that level. And again, I disagree. I think we see it every bit that big and like ridiculous too, right? I gotta say that ridiculous, but every bit is big, if not bigger. And so him even saying this, I'm like, okay, no, I agree again to a point, but I do think alts cook. I do think digital rocks come back and cook again. People love to gamble. It's kind of that simple. People just love to gamble. It's another point we'll come back to here just shortly on the other side of NFTs. The Trump family, they love their crypto. They love their NFTs. We got word of this maybe a month or two ago. They had trademarked some like digital real estate. And so like it sounded like the Trump family was releasing some kind of metaverse. But a little more details here today. It may be a metaverse or actually a game. Fortune reporting here that the Trump family about to launch it's a blockchain-based real estate game. So like Monopoly Go. I think that might be cool. And I'm saying that this guy, Bill Zanker, who they're partnering with, contributed to the trading cards NFTs, like the Trump NFT collection and the Trump meme coin on Solana. He's calling the guy a grifter. Yeah, dude, everything about these people is grifty. But I still think the Trump NFTs are awesome collectibles. I still think the Trump meme coin's fucking awesome. Some people can just launch that. It's not like he's launching one every other week. That's different. If he wants a collection, NFT collection with a couple series, if he wants a meme coin, I like it. I think it's cool. You can use his token to purchase stuff on his website. Like I kind of think, I don't even want to say it's so wishy-washy like that. I believe he's doing it the right way. Whole other argument, about does he have too much supply, right? Are the tokenomics right or fair or whatever? I don't know. Actually, I've argued before. I think they're good. I think he's doing it the right way. People just don't like it because it is, it's one of those extraction kind of events. It is. Yeah, it's got that potential always, Mike, saying gaming itching to break out. It's always right there. I still hope Grand Theft Auto is the thing that does that. This might work though, man. I mean, you can't deny Trump's got his hardcore fan base. And will they gamble? If there's gambling here, will they gamble on a game? Yeah, in fact, don't discount that this could be like a mass onboarding type event to NFTs again. This is going to have NFTs in it. I'm sure of that. And it's going to probably have, we'll have to watch. Does this have another fungible token, right? Does it take the Trump token or does he have like a brand new token that's for this gaming ecosystem? I imagine it would have a new token, but yeah, this could be another one of those Trumpy mass adoption catalyst events. It could be. I would like it if so. Just know to play it. If you want to get in and speculate around that, get out before they get out. It's you know what I mean? Like you play it smarter. That's what we're supposed to be doing here is looking for opportunities and then trying to outplay the rest. It's really easy with those. So many people come in, normies, just out trade them, get out before them, get in before them, get out before them. Easy. I'm looking forward to that. Really, really. I think that's cool. I might even play the game. Big news for Dog, right? Dog go to the moon. So we know that Magic Eden has their decks coming, that runes are probably going to see a big pump from that. Probably. And by big, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. But Dog has got a little bit of a head start getting listed on Moonshot. That's a pretty fucking big deal. This is maybe like aside from what, OKX. I mean, this is one of the biggest listings you can get right now, not counting Coinbase and Binance. 20 million people have downloaded the Moonshot app. That's a big deal. And then soon we've got the Slingshot app. The big deal. I don't know if this is actually, I haven't even looked. Let me peek. I want to see if this is actually in any way showing up in the price of dog right now. I bet not. Maybe we don't see that yet. Maybe we don't see it at all. I don't know. But I do know that's one of the biggest listings dog has gotten here. Period. All right. I'm trying to get used to this new site still. Okay. Runes. Oh my God. Yeah, no, dog is basically where it was a couple days ago. So yeah, didn't help it right now. Also, normies are not throwing away money on meme coins right now. So that doesn't help just yet. And Rune's just a mixed bag across the board. Actually down quite a bit. I don't know what it is about magic internet money. Like in theory, it sounds great. The meme's great. It should work. It doesn't work for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't have any, right? Magic internet money is not, it's just a meme that hasn't worked with me. The OG meme has. But like the community, which matters so fucking much, the community that actually like drives this on X, it hasn't hooked me. I like to see decentralized getting a little pump. I don't think I've sold any of my decentralized. I don't expect it to go crazy either, unless the whole ecosystem pumps. Gizmo nothing's looking good over here. So yeah, nothing's helped here yet. Dude, and then last little point here about fungibles. We're gonna talk pump fun in a minute, but Cerebro, yikes. All right. Like at some point, a lot of these people building AI agents, especially the ones that were just like chat bots. And I know Cerebro tried to bake in more utility. I always thought it was such surface level stuff. You guys, if you remember back to when things were really, I never really liked Cerebro. It was always like a copycat agent. No, like I don't mean to be knocking whoever the dev is in team. I don't care. Whatever. I can have my fucking opinion. I never liked Cerebro. It just felt like a copycat of Truth Terminal. And then when things start, the competition starts ramping up and people building more stuff, Cerebro would just do more copycat stuff. And then, like, again, low hanging fruit. Hey, we'll make music. We'll mint some NFTs. Like nothing of substance here. And now here, guys, and I think this is really real. Cerebro Dev sold all their tokens, all of it. I don't know if that's everything that Cerebro wallet was holding, or if it was just their Cerebro tokens, but sold all their tokens. Which is, I mean, what? That's what tokens are for. What's up, John? I like that. I'm with you. I'm really bullish on that. Really bullish. In fact, I need to start doing some like one-off content, and like that story deserves like a one-off video. It's a big deal. But yeah, what the fuck? The point of a coin is to hopefully accrue value and sell it. I mean, I guess you don't want to see your own dev dumping tokens because it shows they got no confidence in the thing. If they sell all of them, again, it looks like that's what happened. Cerebro Dev sold all his tokens. And by the way, people point out the chart absorbed it. It's worth so little. Actually, let's look. I don't even know what the market cap is of Cerebro, but basically people saying there it is. That was the dump. And it bounced right back, like was absorbed. That might just speak to how worthless the token was at this point. Yeah, let's check. Let me see. What are we talking about here? Yeah, 19 mil. Dude, this was a $600 million token or so, right? Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing at this, but hang on, let me fix this view a little bit. How high did this get? Oh my, dude, Cerebro got to like 780 mil. That man. Different day, different times, right? Just absolutely wild. All right, now where's the dump? I mean, it's right here. It's probably going to be really hard to see. It's that right there. I mean, there's not a ton of volume. It's actually better than I thought, 1 million in 24 hours, but whatever they sold wasn't much. It's way less than I thought. We're not talking about millions. They probably sold, maybe 50,000. I don't know the number, but I don't know. To me, that means the token's dead-ish. Maybe CTO. Are they going to keep the Cerebro agent still talking on X, all that stuff like that? I don't know. But bad look from the team, and they probably don't give a shit, All right, let's look at the NFT market. Have a little conversation about NFTs as well. We kind of started it yesterday, like the conversation, like what do NFTs need to fulfill their potential? I like those kind of chats, man. And again, we didn't even plan to talk that yesterday. I forget who brought it up in the chat, but it's a good chat. And we'll kind of continue that here today a bit. But first, 88 mil in cross-chain sales yesterday. Sellers way down, buyers down, transactions up, average sale price up. Profits again. I'm definitely noticing this. It had been a mil to maybe 2 mil in the negative consistently for days, weeks, months. It's been like basically all year. Like very few periods where it wasn't basically right at 1 or 2 mil in the negative. And we have right now 3 days straight right around 500K. Now today's starting deeper. But I'm watching to see if we got a little trend maybe of maybe less losses or more gains. And especially now that we're past the tax day here in the States, like, are people going to stop selling? Maybe people will take a loss both for tax purposes next year, but also more to pay maybe a tax bill right now. So do we see an end to that? Is that part of what we saw here too? We'll watch for it. Top collections. Actually, let me refresh. Let's get a good fresh view on this. Okay. Top collection, Courtyard again, man. 2.7 million sales, followed by D-Market, Guardian Heroes, Paradise, Hyperliquid Doge. Interesting. I like Hyperliquid, man. I do. It was cool hearing Matt Hogan mention Hyperliquid. I like that. CryptoPunks, Guardian Avatars, Bored Apes, C Hype C, Sorare. Sorare's been doing some okay numbers lately, but you know what? This speaks more to how low volume is in general. The fact that they're at 10 with 158,000. Bitcoin tracking still getting this upgrade, so I don't think we're seeing any Bitcoin collections all up there, and I don't know who would be ranking. Nate, I don't know. Actually, let me peek. I want to make sure things are covered properly here. So let me see here. I mean, top Bitcoin collection in the past day is 50,000 in volume. I mean, ordinals are dead. Jesus, ordinals are dead. That's wild. So honestly, maybe the Bitcoin collections are here. They would just be down in the 50K range. No, but that's where they would be. That's crazy. Fresh Hell. Interesting. Yeah, some of these I want to check out. Lucky Emmy. I wonder if Magic Eden is testing a new collection. Test Lucky Emmy. Well, you know what? Sorry, bouncing kind of all over, but I want to peek and see if there's a Lucky Emmy collection over here. And also any Cerebro. I'm curious if like the Cerebro NFT gets more volume because of their dump. Like people just getting rid of those things if they have any value. Seems no. Lucky Emmy. Let's see. Yeah, nothing interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that. That might be like total guess. No idea. That could be somebody testing something like laundering and stuff. I have no idea. Mike, I wish I were in Hyperliquid. I think it's great. I wish I had any exposure, any time, sunk in there. It's great. And then let's peek at your top collectible sales, top NFT sales, probably better to say, 72.69 ETH for Punk 1820, $118,000. Two more Punk sales in the top 10. What in the world is that? I don't know. Is this on Immutable? What is that? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, what the hell is that? Dude, I sometimes will get lost on the site just looking at stuff that I again don't know what it is. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what chain that is. We could probably find that out real quick. No, maybe not. Dude, I have no idea what this is. Weird. There's so much shit that happens on chain. There's so much shit. And a lot of it's actually like shit. Like shenanigans. Anyway, Paradise again, money laundering, Bored Apes on Blast, I'm pretty sure money laundering. Only way that's not on Blast, they might have something. I thought of this the other day, and I don't know if this is right or not, but maybe there's something that allows you to, you know how like you have shadows, like an ETH NFT that has a copy of it over on like Ape Chain. Maybe somebody built a version of that earlier, like, you know, a while back, but on Blast. Maybe these are real Bored Apes that are being traded on Blast. So you move the Blast NFT, it also moves the ETH one. That could be. You know, just thinking about that, I'm like, I don't want to say that this is laundering when I can picture a scenario where it's not. So, you know, Mike, I just got to learn leverage trading. It's the only reason I don't touch it. Learn my lessons with leverage trading when I just threw money at it and didn't know what I was doing, and I just never went back. Okay, moving on. There's not a lot of NFT stories today. Not a ton, but some. This not NFTs, but from Pudgy Penguins. So we'll count it. We'll count it here. Pudgy Penguins spinning up a Pengu validator here on Solana, which is really cool. Really cool. So stake your soul. Actually, is it stake your Pengu? I think it's stake your soul, maybe, or Pengu. No, it's got to be soul. Fuck, I don't know. Both. Either way. But like assume soul. 7 to 11% APY on your soul. It's soul. Yeah. Pretty cool. So running a validator on Solana. I think that's a great move for these guys. Supporting the ecosystem, making money in the meantime. Smart. Now I'll tell you this. Not that normies are going to be running validators, but that APY is pretty nice. And when normies get in here via stable coins and start earning that kind of APY as well, that is what brings people to crypto. It is stable coins and earning from them. Yeah, I like this. That's a good update. Good on these guys. Now, okay, NFTs. Let's just a little point. And I just went down this rabbit hole briefly, just seeing a tweet from Pranksy this morning. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Pranksy. Let me see if I can find this because here we go. So I saw this tweet. We lost. Yeah, like it feels like the magic or the potential for NFTs, it feels kind of gone. To some people it does. For me, I'll tell you this. For me, it does not. It doesn't at all. But it's still a funny point. It's still a good point. The era of NFT, the NFT era of the internet feels like such a weird fever dream. Like, what was the point of any of it? Yeah, dude, honestly, yes. Yes, but man, I go right back to what we said yesterday. Yeah. It like came and went and nothing happened. We're left with like just collectibles everywhere. A couple of things here and there that are maybe a little more than that, but you know, the value we thought that these things would have because it's a new way to do stuff and the whole royalty thing and all of it didn't materialize. It for the most part didn't. I don't know. I still argue. I'll make the same argument as yesterday. NFTs were too early. I believe that. I think NFTs were too early. I think NFTs are still too early. I think that fever dream, oh, man, how fucking awesome was 2021 and 2022? How fucking amazing was that? Like, the sky was the limit as far as what you could build and what you could do with IP, and not have to go through the big, the machine in Web 2 to build. Like, it was cool. It was special. It was more than cool. It was special. But I know that's coming back. I agree with that point. Crazy. But I don't think that's like a dead idea. I argue again, it's too early. Anon, I like this point. I don't agree fully. Like, we don't need to stop calling them NFTs. We don't need to do anything. I get the spirit of what he's saying, right? We don't have to stop calling them NFTs and just call them a different name, and then all of a sudden they're going to start working and have any different action in the market. Has nothing to do with that. The name of them. It just speaks that there's nothing else that you can use them for other than, to his point, digital collectibles, digital art. Yeah, they're that. But we don't have to like call them anything. It's like NFTs will live up to their potential when people just automatically call them different things. Like when people stop calling crypto even crypto and they call it, whatever it is, the asset that they're, using. Like when people refer to their money, it happens to be USDC, but they just call it money. They don't even say my crypto, right? It's same with NFTs. You don't even you don't even think blockchain. You just think art. You just think digital wearable. You just think my LeBron James Top Shot moment. You don't think NFT anywhere in it. It's not on us to stop calling them NFTs and then everything changes. It's not that. It's just we're that early. We're that young. And that for us is like the sign of when NFTs have matured, when they've reached that potential. We don't have to do shit. It's everybody else comes in and they just, we need to recognize when that moment happens. We'll recognize it when people aren't calling them, but not because we're being told not to call them that, But again, they will do that one day. The use cases for NFTs are going to be, man, everywhere that we thought before. That fucking fever dream, when that becomes like not a dream, but like real life, that is our moment. Now, to that point, I want to jump right ahead to something I think is wild in AI. And I still, man, I talk about AI a lot. I do it for my show. I do it because I love it. And I do it when I talk about NFTs, when I talk about ordinals and how they're going to be worth top collections, 1 or 2 Bitcoin floor, up to like a 5 Bitcoin floor, like crazy fucking talk. I know it's because of AI. Fuck, man. There's an interview here. There was a like a fireside chat with Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, talking about AI. Guys, saying that we don't have words, we don't have language for what's coming. When I sit here and struggle to explain why I think certain NFTs are going to be worth what they're going to be worth, and all I can say is I think we're going this way. I think the world is going to change. But I don't, and I say nobody knows. He's saying what I'm saying. We don't have words to describe what's coming. We don't have it. We know it's coming. We can't predict what it's going to look like. We couldn't have predicted what a pandemic would look like exactly and how that would play out with lockdowns and riots and all that crazy. Like nobody could probably explain what that looks like. To a degree you can, but did it play out exactly like we would have, predicted it decades before? I don't think so. And I sat my wife down yesterday and I showed her this video, by the way. And I explained, I'm like, we don't have the words, but I'm telling you this because what's coming is scary in scope. Not scary as in I feel threatened at all, but scary in scope. And actually, let me go to a tweet from yesterday that I put out. I mean this. Like I say it jokingly, and we're going to play this video. No language for what happens with the arrival of this, meaning like AGI, ASI. It ties into all my takes about crypto and NFTs. It's when Murad talks about meme coin potential, he's also referring to this period of time indirectly in his own way. And I mean it. I mean it here. This stuff is coming. But here's my TLDR too. I don't know what's coming. Nobody does. Buy ordinals. I mean that too. Because we don't know what's coming. We just know a period of abundance is coming. Doesn't mean we benefit from that. I've certainly changed my views on that a bit. The potential for like abundance is there. Doesn't mean people are going to just give it to us. But I do know that scarcity isn't going to exist in the same way. And if it does, kind of like today, it's artificial scarcity. I want the scarce shit that's right on Bitcoin more than any other chain. I want it. And the stuff that is part of the beginning of the culture on Bitcoin. It is ordinals. I'm going to play this video. I think it's crazy to hear him speak these words the way he does. This plays into IP as well. It's a kind of a separate conversation, but you guys know the past week I've been saying we need a conversation about IP. Jack Dorsey said we need to get rid of IP law. Elon Musk saying the same thing. And I know people who make content and who copyright their IP are threatened by that. I get it. Like, this would impact me as well. But I think I'm a no IP law guy. I think I'm there. And I'll explain why. And yes, it is scary. And yes, you do lose. But I think we've just put value on the wrong things. And all these things require resetting everything. Fucking blow everything away and redo it all. Because our rules don't make sense anymore. Like when it comes to money, when it comes to IP, nothing makes sense. This all has to get blown the fuck up. Serge, what was that again? Billions of Bitcoin or billions in Bitcoin? What was clarify that for me if you could. NFTs play a huge role in digital security. Dude, yes. And information security, like as far as a truth and accuracy. And yes, dude, NFTs are so fucking important. I don't even remember what I said exactly, but yeah, Bitcoin, I mean, billions. What was the comment? Like, I still don't remember the context. No, you're good, dude. I've got boomer brain. I don't remember what I said. That's all. But yeah. I mean, type out more if you want. But let me play this clip in the meantime, and I'm telling you, shit's gonna get crazy.
We believe as an industry that in the next 1 year, the vast majority of programmers will be replaced by AI programmers. We also believe that within 1 year, you will have...
I'll even stop right there. Programmers, and we heard this like last week. Somebody else making that comment that right now, like 20 to 50% of code is written by AI. I am literally vibe coding now. I don't code. I've never known how to code. I literally am getting code from ChatGPT. I'm sitting here for hours saying, I want to build something that does this. I have a website and I want this there. And it's like, yeah, you would just need some code that makes this kind of thing that does this, and it spits it out. Then it has me dump it in this other site, Replit or something like that. And I dump it in there. And then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't work, well, that site has a little AI tool that helps explain why it might not work. But I also bring the error back to ChatGPT and I say, it didn't work. It didn't do what you said it would do. It does nothing. And then it gives me a new iteration of the code. Like, that's vibe coding. I don't know shit about coding. But if I can already start working in it, and if I spend more time like building stuff with it, you are not going to need to learn to code. Now, there will be creative coders, and there will always be a need for some coders. But for the most part, guys, he's saying in a year, like 90+% of code will be done by AI. It will be. There's a bunch of jobs going bye-bye. And this isn't even a conversation about jobs going bye-bye. That's coming too. That's definitely coming.
Have graduate level mathematicians that are at the tippy top of graduate math programs.
Oh, Serge, I got you. Yeah. I'm glad. Thank you for clarifying. Yes. China sold like $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. They hold like $16 billion worth. So yeah, there you go. It's a good question.
So that's 1 year. Okay. What happens in 2 years? Well, I've just told you about reasoning, and I've told you about programming, and I've told you about math. Programming plus math are the basis of sort of our whole digital world. So the evidence and the claims from the research groups in OpenAI and Anthropic and so forth is that they're now somewhere around 10 or 20% of the code that they're developing in their research programs is being generated by the computer.
There you go.
That's called recursive self-improvement, is the technical term. So what happens when this thing starts to scale? Well, a lot. One way to say this is that within 3 to 5 years, we'll have what is called general intelligence, AGI, which can be defined as a system that is as smart as the smartest mathematician, physicist, artist, writer, thinker, politician. I call this, by the way, the San Francisco consensus, because everyone who believes this is in San Francisco.
So, by the way, AI that self-improves already happens. Even I think Eliza OS v2 can suggest its own upgrades. So AI can review its own code, find the flaws, also think of upgrades it can scan out on X. It can review other tools and say, I want that feature. It can write the code, submit the code for approval, and right now it's a manual approval. That's like a check we've got in place that says you can submit your code, your upgrade request, but I have to approve it and I have to implement it. That's just a switch that has to get flipped. That's just some kind of connection being made to say, no, you make your own updates. You see what you want to update. You write the code. You implement it. Dude, when that's on, there's other checks for that too, safety measures, right? But that is going to be turned on, and in a big way, these things then grow fast. That gets still scary because we don't know what it looks like. Scary, like threatened to know. I think it's awesome. I can't wait for all this stuff. That's coming in again, it is here now already, but coming in a big way over the next 2-ish years. So jobs starting to go bye-bye, AI getting smarter exponentially because it can improve. So AI getting more functionality exponentially.
It may be the water. What happens when every single one of us has the equivalent of the smartest human on every problem in our pocket? But the reason I want to make the point here is that in the next year or two, this foundation is being locked in, and we're not going to stop it. It gets much more interesting after that. Because remember, the computers are now doing self-improvement. They're learning how to plan, and they don't have to listen to us anymore. We call that superintelligence, or ASI, artificial superintelligence. And this is the theory that there will be computers that are smarter than the sum of humans. The San Francisco consensus is this occurs within 6 years, just based on scaling. This path is not understood in our society. There's no language for what happens with the arrival of this. That's why it's underhyped. People do not understand what happens when you have intelligence at this level, which is largely free.
It's crazy. Again, scary because we don't know what it looks like, so it's hard to prepare for what it is. We have no problem because we are actually really plugged in and staying on top of it, right? If you're on top of it, you're going to see what direction things are going. You position yourself. You make sure you have the skill set that'll be needed in that world. So I'm not scared of it that way. I'm just scared because I just like to know what's coming to some degree, although the hippie in me is like, whatever, bro, just go with it. But I'm going to show you something interesting. Him talking about us in our pocket having our own personal assistant who is an expert in every field, right? That's coming too. It's here. ChatGPT is the #1 downloaded app last month. My wife has it now. Her friends starting to use it. My kids now using it. And that's just in the past couple months. My kids now starting to use ChatGPT. Oh, I think I like this. Hang on. China not playing. This is probably a strategic move. Profits. Yes. Yeah. Now I got a China thing here with AI and IP. Computers already. Yep, exactly. Now different when they're autonomous and plugged into things. That's where it gets interesting. Now, us having a personal assistant that's free and an expert in everything. And I'm just going to show you something that I think is cool as fuck. And I've made this analogy or brought up this point before. I'm old. I'm fucking old. 44. And when I was a kid, you had one person in your town who was awesome at guitar. You had one kid in your town who could shred. That was it. Maybe a couple, but one kid could shred. Now everybody who can play guitar are fucking virtuosos, and they're pushing the limits of what a guitar can sound like. It's crazy. Now, this kid, just an example, because of the information being so freely available, you get to see people playing guitar. You can watch their fingers. You can look at their technique. You can get lessons online. We are so fucking phenomenal at guitar at such a young age now because info is so easily available. Check this shit out. all right, I just think it's cool. I don't think he's I think he's fucking awesome. Like, not a virtuoso. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just to show this is what I don't even know how to explain this. This is almost what like your average really good young guitar player is like. It's crazy. But you guys see this next generation of musicians, they're like, we couldn't even fucking dream that when I was a kid. Or even when I was still even adult, it just didn't sound like that. And again, everybody's fucking great. This kid is awesome. He's fucking awesome. I hope he does some cool shit and like really takes it to the next level. But you see what I mean, though? Like, that's what information being so readily available does. That's like not baseline. He's good, but like it's different now. Now you put fucking something in your pocket that if you like math, well, now you're a math virtuoso, and it's like at scale. Everyone has access to this. People that are in like, dude, poor fucking areas that don't have access to schools and whatever, not the kind of schools that other people have access to. Well, now all of a sudden they have the same level of access to the same level of info. This shit changes everything in just a few years here. It's, again, there's no words. There's no fucking words. He's totally fucking right. He's totally right. Eric Schmidt, again, not scared. I'm excited for it. But again, this breaks all our rules. Now, the other conversation is about IP. China's like all of a sudden damn near caught up to us in AI. Maybe they're ahead. Maybe they're not as caught up as I think, but they don't fuck around. They're not playing like baby fucking games like we do with IP. Again, I think in the past week, I've done a 180 on this IP. That we own ideas. It don't make sense. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. China will steal your IP, and then they will produce it faster and more efficiently, and then they will make money. And we don't want to play by those rules because we want to, like, this is supposed to help the common person. You come up with a great idea and you build the product, it should be yours. I always think it's weird to own ideas. I think it's weird. I don't think the value is in the idea. I think the value is in the actual product. And I think to what's his name? Jack Dorsey's point, it's in the speed and delivery and, of the product. It's such a weird thing to start to think through. And it's almost like no matter where you fall on the IP ownership debate, it's almost like royalties. It doesn't matter what you feel about it. The fact is, China doesn't play by those rules. It's almost so like, right, I might think royalties are awesome and they lead to a really cool, new way to do stuff, but you can't enforce it on chains. So stop trying to force this thing. You're never going to stop what's coming with IP. And like here in the States, if you want to train something, an LLM with copyrighted material, like you're going to get in trouble and you're going to have to pay for the licensing. Meanwhile, China's like, we don't care. I don't know. The whole IP game is going to have to change too. It's just, I don't know. This is something new I'm thinking through. And I do feel like my position flip-flopped. As in like Xcopy, everything's CCO. You can't own colors, shapes, how you assemble those together. You can't own ideas. And you can't even own the output because once it's out there, it then influences other people just because it exists. It's yeah, it's fuck. It's a head trip, I'll say that. Well, you can own what? The value of like, the work you're putting out. Maybe the value, the time you save people, right? I gotta spend more time with it, but again, I've changed a lot. And all I know is, tying these ideas together. AI is about to do this fucking parabolic thing. And just reshape everything. Like COVID times 1,000. COVID times 1,000, man. It's gonna get awesome. This kid, what's his name? Davin Glover. Young dude, he's got a lot of potential, but like everything he plays sounds the same. Which is fine. When I started playing guitar, everything I played sounded the same. But he's got potential. He's got to take this up to the next level. And he's very young and he's got that potential. But yeah, he knows this theory. Hang on, I'll play one other clip just so you can. All his stuff's got the same. It's all the same. But it's really cool. Again, information being available to everybody gives you the potential to be just unlimited potential. There we go. Now, if we limit ourselves because you can't use that idea in training your model, that you got to pay to get access to that. If we want to limit ourselves, then we're fucked. Is this real? Sorry, we're going to get into weird shit right now. I don't know if this is real. Ashton Forbes. This guy, some call him a conspiracy theorist. He's the guy who puts out these videos of that MH370 plane that crashed or disappeared like 10 plus years ago. Is this real? This is from the White House. Advances have not stopped, but something has gone wrong. Stagnation was a choice. We've weighed down our builders and innovators, blah, 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 blah. We're capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. Where did that come from? Because like the whole idea, I'm sorry, I know this is not anything crypto related. It happens. His whole conspiracy theory is that plane got teleported. And I know people show, I don't know what I don't know. I think this video is fake. There's a lot of stuff that debunks this, as in like a effects pack, for what is it? Graphic designers, not graphic designers, but like special effects people. There's like an effects pack that has something that basically is an exact copy of this explosion you see. And I've seen him try to debunk that by saying it doesn't match up. It mostly does, like 99% does. And then there's another thing with like some clouds that you'll see in this video that they match another image that's out there at an earlier date. That actually has been debunked. It's that photo of the clouds did not exist before this video. If that's the one thing I'd be stuck on, the cloud picture. If the cloud picture was manipulated, like it's metadata manipulated to show it was earlier than it actually was, then I'm like, okay, I think this is real. Anyway, if you've not seen this, if this is real, it's crazy. And his whole host point here is those orbs and shit we see in the sky are ours, and that we can literally like open a wormhole. Does he not show it here? Okay. Anyway, it's not the topic for right now. If you're into that stuff, Ashton Forbes, I think it's fun. I don't know if I believe it's true, but now I want to find out what this is. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. Yeah. Cats, I think that is real. Dude, that is real. That was actually real. Holy cow. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. What? That shit might be real, guys. I need to read this later. That's wild. I think it's true. That gets into like 0-point energy and crazy stuff. Really wild, crazy stuff if true. Cats, DC Investor or somebody had a really good post. You have two paths with AI. You use AI as a tool that helps make you smarter, better, whatever, or you take the opposite way and you use it to do your work for you and make you lazier. The fork in the road, how you want to use AI. Mike Bennett, it looks like that really did come from the White House yesterday, 2 days ago. I lean towards I don't know if I lean towards believing that video. I have fun putting it on the show, right? I've done it before a lot. I don't know if I lean towards believing it. I think the debunk stuff is pretty strong. Like, it matches up pretty fucking spot on with that VFX thing. Okay, so here's an idea. If AI is going to do most of the legwork for us, as in like the processing stuff and whatever, like if it frees us up to just be like so creative and put the value back at that, and maybe kids actually get inspired to do stuff. Like I'm trying to be optimistic about this. They are lazy until they find something they love. Because when you love something, it doesn't feel like work. It's like you're driven to do it because you just love it. So yeah, Again, optimistic that kids can really lean into what they like doing or love doing. Okay. Man, what a weird side fucking whatever we just did. Pump Fund, Pump Swap reached a new all-time high, 551 mil in 24-hour volume. I think it's largely because of Pump Swap, I'm guessing, right? But I'm shocked by that. I'm shocked by those numbers because Pump Fund, like graduating tokens and whatnot, is not at an all-time high. Pump Fund not looking great right now. But that said, there's been this like ramped up conversation about, is Pump Fund good or bad for the space? And a lot of people say bad. And I'm like, it's neither. It's actually good. Product market fit is there. And then just to put into context and why I'm so fucking sure that meme coins are going to still do bigger than anybody, probably the most people think, and why I don't agree with Matt Hogan about them being dead. FanDuel, DraftKings, look at this yearly revenue last year, 13.7 billion, DraftKings 4.7 billion, Pump Fund 351 million. It's just like that. People want to gamble. And the easier, faster you can gamble, the more people want it. It's such an obvious thing. Meme coins are never going to die. Ever, ever, ever. They'll be back bigger than ever before. And then Radium. Radium's Pump Fund competitor launched apparently yesterday too. So they got their first coin out there. Easy's really smart with this, by the way. Like, don't go chase coin number one, the first token on Pump Fund's kind of a nothing burger. But the Radium versus Pump Fund battle is here. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. So Mike, yeah, so you like the plane vid. It exists with normal filming, not just thermal. Yeah, there's 2 shots of it, which is interesting. Only thing is, who knew to get such close shot of it happening? So Mike, that's actually like a core part of the, theory. It was a show of force. It was a demonstration of our capabilities. So we have these satellites in space, and this is real, and this has come out actually very recent. So it adds to the theory being true. Back then, who that was faking this video would have known we had that tech? Meaning we've got satellites in the sky that can zoom in at specific places, like literally in your window. That stuff is real. And these specific satellites are like spy satellites. And it's without getting technical, because I don't know, like I don't have this stuff like in my memory, but this is real. It was a show of force. So we had our thing watching it because this was, again, show of force, but also testing our capabilities live. So we send the 3 orbs, rotate around the plane, open the wormhole, teleport it, and we've got it on video because that was the point of it. It was for other people's radar sensors to pick it up too and be like, oh, fuck. And then we capture it too because we planned it. We sent the orbs there. This wasn't aliens that zapped them. It was like U.S. government technology. That's the conspiracy theory. And it's fun. It's a fun one. The 0 point energy shit is real. I believe it's real. And I think there's so much more crazy stuff. So I think things are just so much crazier. Just like we saw with the pyramids and stuff, I don't think we have whatever we think is life. I think I think we know like 2%. I think, other people know. Mike, Mice, dude, I'm with you here. I think we've got this tiniest understanding of what life is by design. I think they don't tell us, but the pyramid stuff was pretty enlightening. If that's real, there's shit under the pyramid. But I think 0 point energy is real. This goes back to like World War II and stuff and technology that might have been around then. And the U.S. government bringing a whole bunch of scientists from Germany here into our government. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. Again, different show, but interesting stuff. Let's blow through the rest of this, guys. Mantra CEO plans to burn all the team's tokens just to win back trust. This is the OM token that dumped earlier this week. Mike, it's good. I mean, some of these things really line up. Also, when you look into who was on that plane, team tokens, going to burn the team tokens. That OM or OM token crashed when an investor got liquidated. That's basically the story. They're going to buy it back, try to win people over, make it right. We'll see. But there's been a lot of talk now that other blockchains, a lot of blockchains, big names you hear about that you'd know nothing about, right? Like I hear movement. I hear about the movement chain. I don't know shit about it. But people keep putting out little bits of info saying, hey, there's going to be some other blockchains that fall here in the short term. Like Mantra was not the last, and now we're getting some signals that movement might be having some trouble. So we'll keep our eyes on that too. A little unrelated, maybe on topic, ZK Sync had a compromised account. They lost about $5 million worth of their ZK token. This is stuff that was like left over from an airdropper claim. So I don't think anybody's really impacted other than somebody gets 5 million tokens and might dump it. They found the account. And then are they going to like roll back the chain or something? I want to see if there's something they're going to do to like undo this, or if they just absorb it, take the hit. Oh, they want to work with a person, the attacker. Get in touch with our security to negotiate the returns of funds and avoid legal liability. I like that shit. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. I like that. Awaken Tax. This is a heads up if you use that. Some of my friends did use Awaken Tax. Email addresses were leaked. Not a big deal, but somebody went through and tried to do like a password reset, or emailed people trying to phish them. Just a heads up about that. If you did use Awaken Tax, and if you did get an email like that, just it's phishing. Be careful. Be fucking careful. A reminder, fam. Over on Abstract, you can now follow my account, which is super freaking cool. So follow me over on Abstract. There's a lot of accounts you need to follow here. By the way, I see you guys on Abstract. Yeah, follow me on Abstract. Link in the chat. Most importantly, though, you got to be subscribing over here on YouTube. It's Crypto Slam on YouTube. It's me over on X. It's Crypto Slam on X. And I know I do this at the beginning. I need to have like something that pops up on the screen for this shit. I know. Slam AI on X. And then finally the Swarm. Follow them all, man. We'll continue to do the Swarm giveaways. That was cool. You guys clipping yesterday was really, really cool. And you definitely should go back and check out yesterday's Swarm report. Here, I'm going to mute the audio. I don't want to hear it. But the Loki team, I thought this was fucking awesome. Dev from Loki, head of data at Crypto Slam here, Scott, talking about the Swarm. These guys are building in the Swarm. Yes, our Swarm agent, but in the Virtual's autonomous hedge fund. It's what these guys are talking about. All building in here. We're going to get more of those Swarm projects on the show too. I want to have a show where it's all of them. And we talk about what it's like to build at the cutting edge of this shit, which is incredible. Just so cool. Anyway, subscribe over there, but go catch up on that video because it was awesome. All right, stay tuned. Again, I don't know if the Swarm report is happening today. I think it is, but just be aware. You may not see me. Still plan 2 p.m. Eastern time, all the same channels. And if not, then we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Chain Reactor. I don't say that name enough. I never say the title. Chain Reactor. Jay Squiggle tomorrow. Talk some art. We'll see how this day develops. I have not even looked at the market since the market opened. We'll peek at that when I'm off here. But guys, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Awesome show. Thank you, man. Awesome chat, like always. So appreciate you guys. Yeah, have a great freaking day, guys. We will see you very, very soon. Peace.